Welcome back, folks, to the next exciting part of Ristar. We're watching part 4, which is the Planet Sonata. So Sonata is a planet where it's all about music, so you can tell from the layout there's all these, the ladders are trumpets or cornets, what they are, and then you got these flutes or whatever the wind instrument is. But the whole planet's futuristic. It's very interesting. I guess this is the planet of the future, so the music is kind of the future. Now, if you notice, the music changed a little bit once we gave this metronome to one of the to give it to that bird, and that's the gimmick for this level. You have to transport these metronomes to those birds to progress. So, very interesting gimmick. And of course, you gotta throw the metronome on these fans to get them to higher levels. You gotta use the conveyor belt to actually move it. So it's a pretty interesting, fun level in that regard. You never really had that kind of, at least in the Genesis games that I've played, never really had that kind of gameplay, which is very interesting for its time, I feel. But throw this up here, and then we'll go up here, and then we will go up here, and then just keep going up, and you'll be able to take this metronome up here. Now, there is a secret shooting star pole up there, but I just screwed that up. Okay, so you don't want to off-screen the metronome either, but if you go to the left, it'll be there. So go here and then just grab onto the shooting star pole. Now this bonus stage is not very difficult, but you could lock yourself out of getting the treasure if you take out too many of these treasure chests at once. Obviously, you're supposed to get to the top right. So what I normally do is I like to do up one, over one, up one, over one. But in that case, I try to do a little different. I try to go left, right, but you just got to take out one of the treasure chests on the next row, and then just get to the next row. As you're making stair steps, basically. Long story short. But with that, we get that little horn instrument. Don't know what it really is. There's several ways you can solve that puzzle, but that was one of the ways you could have done that. So grab the metronome, throw it underneath the little flute, clarinet, or whatever it is. I think that's a flute, actually. So the music changes once again, which is very cool. I really like how the music changes. So throw the metronome down here in the pipe. It will get sucked down to the bottom, and we can continue on. And then just follow the pattern down. Throw the metronome on the switch, and then you can grab it from the other side. So it's really cool. Now, whatever you do not. I think if you let the green guys grab the flute, it'll also steal it. So you don't want to do that, and then you don't want to let that claw take it in that particular case. Oh no, okay. So here, and he'll move, and then we'll get more music change. And pay attention to those birds that I just destroyed. That I don't know what they call that. It's like those. Don't grab the bomb like I'm about to. They are the birds that like you put like to peck water. That's like a toy or whatever, I guess. I don't know what they're really called, but I'm sure Future Phil can like find something and post it for those who don't know what I'm talking about. But take this treasure and then throw it. I say treasure, the metronome. Oh jeez. So you can go ahead and jump over, grab it from this end, and just jump over the bombs. You can touch the bombs, I don't think it'll hurt, but you don't obviously want those green guys to steal the metronome. So go here, throw it up here, and we're almost done. We're almost to the boss. Almost. I'm just taking this super long and annoying way. So we gotta pick it up from this end, let the crane carry it, and we're almost there. And I would say Planet Sonata's music, the first act, is kind of, I mean, it gets better the more metronomes you give to the birds, but I feel like it's not a super interesting track outside its gimmick of getting more of the track going. But I mean, I guess I can see how it could kind of be interesting. I don't hate it, but it's not as good as the other tracks of Ristar, in my opinion. But continue on, going this way. Oh, come on. Grab the horns and glow up. I think I said glow up. What was this glow up bulb from Yu-Gi-Oh? That was such a busted card back in the day. Anyways. I'm delaying. So jump and chunk it, and then get to the other side safely, grab it, and go down. And there should be, that was a setup. Oh, that's nice jewel. Let's grab up here, go up here, jump, and we're going to take some damage. Unfortunately, grab it, get out of the way, throw it to the bird, and that's the end of the track. So now we'll have to fight the boss. Luckily, there's a full heal there. Over here, I'm just trying to find treasure for whatever reason. Because, you know, I like to just find new treasures and all that. And there is one right there. So grab it. That should be like what? Like 500? Yeah, 500 points. Now, this boss was actually a lot easier in the Japanese version because the heads that would move would have a music note over them, I believe. But in the international version, there's no notes. You just gotta wait for the heads to stop moving. And when they do, the heads will drop down, and then when they're dropping down, you gotta smack them. So you gotta hit these things 3 times each to destroy them, and it's kind of annoying because you gotta wait for them, and you can't hit them while they're above. So you just gotta wait. But at least this music's a little bit catchy. I think this is the final version of that track, and this part's kind of catchy. So smack this song, and then we can go and focus our attention on this one. And you can normally hit them like 2 times if you don't mess up like I did. So you take off a wing, you take off their hat, and you take off their actual head after that. So there, and then we got one more. And are we going to be able to take it out anytime soon? Hey, but Ristar likes it at least, right? But yeah, that's all there is to this fight. So just wait for the head to drop, and then just smack it. There we go. When all 3 of them are dead, the maestro doesn't know what to do. Or I guess he doesn't. He's like, my world needs me. Blah, bye-bye. Or I guess my show needs me. Oh, that was a beautiful shot. I think I could have made it a little bit higher. With that, we get Dance Dance Revolution. Dance Dance has a really good track, I think. Oh no! So just take the zip line over here, and what's very interesting that thing slams into a drum or a tambourine or something like that. Those birds, you don't want to hit them when they have a doll, otherwise you'll get hit. I didn't really get that hint after the first 1,000 times, and I still do to this day. So just continue on. You can drop down to the floor right here, and this floor here, as long as you're on it, the guitars will move. If they smack you, well then you get hurt. But if you keep on jumping, they'll stop moving. And as long as they're still, they won't hurt you. So as long as you're on there, it will move. If you're not on there, then it'll stop. So very interesting. Very nice. Nothing there, so just keep going. Oh man, this track's so catchy. Not the best track in the game, but it's very catchy. Now, you don't have to ride that zip line, because if you ride that zip line, you'll go back to the left where those spikes were, so don't do that. Now, this right here is where it gets kind of tricky, because later on we're going to get into a section like this, where it's nothing but spikes over, like right here. So, you just got to time your jumps really well. Spoiler alert, I do die. So, right here, this next path is where the secret treasure area was. I was so close to not dying, that I got the spikes, so I must die, unfortunately. Alright, so let's try this again. So go, jump, over, and this level's kind of fun. Like it is a fun level to play. So jump here, and if you weren't going for the treasures, this is not very difficult at all. But this part here is very nerve-wracking in a way. And to avoid getting hit right there, you want to hit the wall. That way you kind of stop your momentum. But this one right here, this one's a bit interesting because you have these bouncing areas, which is what the floor is, and you have to watch out not to land on spikes. So you'll land right here, and then just go to the right, keep holding right, and you'll be able to actually clear a lot of these spikes just by holding right. Right there, I took a little bit of a pause, so that's probably why. Remember to hold the button as well, that way you get very, very high. So go underneath here, just keep smacking Ristar's head against it. He's used to the head button at least, right? So go down here, And we're at the treasure. Just make sure you avoid that last jump right there on the left. So we get a trophy. Looks like a music note, I think. I'm not a music reader, so I don't know. It looks like a music note, but I'm not sure on which one it is. So, whoa! Okay, we're here. And then we get the star, and we can continue on. Very, 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 very fun level. Very musical. Everything in this level is so it's just, there's so much interaction with the environment. I love it. I love the interaction in this level. And I guess that's the big thing about this level. The floor is interactable, the walls are interactable, the things you grab are interactable. It's very, you could tell they had fun making this game. I'm just so sad they never made a Ristar 2. I would have loved to see Ristar 2. And that's kind of interesting because I feel like a lot of the Sega first party games got a lot of love to the point where they got like 2 games at the very least. Sonic is one. I want to say Ico, the Dolphin game, which I never finished playing, but I do know it's a really difficult game. A very insane story. Sonic, of course. Vector Man, that's another. Vector Man's another awesome game from this era. Fantasy Star. I don't know why Ristar got the short end stick other than it was released at the tail end of the Sega Genesis life. Maybe that was the reason. Or maybe it just didn't sell well. I don't know, but it's just such a fun game. Such a fun game. And that's the end of the level. So there's 3 ways you can exit: the bottom, the middle, and the top. We're gonna try to get the top. So you got kind of aim a little bit to the left, and then kind of scoot Ristar to the right. And there we go. And if I probably got this a little bit more pixel perfect height, I probably got an 8,000. So I will kick. I don't know. I'm just gonna say the angry bird, the not so good singing bird. So the bigger bird actually is gonna pick on this smaller brown bird because this brown bird can sing and this bird does not know how to sing. So interesting thing about this fight, well, first off, you got to keep on hitting the post that this bird is on. You gotta hit it 3 times. It will fall down, and then you can start hitting it. It takes 6 hits to take out the bird, and as the bird is singing, it'll throw out notes you need to avoid, and you need to avoid getting hit by the ceiling that collapses. But an interesting thing is if you let that brown bird sing for enough without hitting the big bird, it will turn its music notes into a star, so you can kind of sort of heal yourself. But at the rate I'm going, you don't need the extra healing. So you can do that, but there's really no need. But with that 6 hits, oh, I think that was 7 actually. Maybe I hit him 5 times, I don't remember. But this fight is not super difficult. If you use the invincibility frames with the head button, you can avoid a lot of damage. So right there, this last hit should do it. And almost there. I can feel it. There we go. And I feel like this bird also isn't a... And there's the star I was talking about. I feel like that bird isn't a follower of Greedy. I think he just took advantage of the situation that Greedy had. Or maybe he was possessed by those black orbs to do bad things. I don't know. But I like to think he was just taking advantage of it. With that, we're done with Planet Sonata. And we will move to my favorite planet, Planet Freon. The ice level. You couldn't tell from the name. But with that, we're done. That was a fun level, but we're going to get to an even more fun level. Because the level is so awesome. And it's cool for good fun. But that's it, folks. So I'll catch you in the next one. Please consider liking, comment, subscribe to the channel. And I will catch you on the next exciting part of Ristar.